My secret to making fat assignment fees in wholesaling real estate. Guys, my name is Rick Ginn, and today I'm going to show you a little secret called Go for No and how you can make a killing and get the biggest assignment fees. But before I get into it, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button so others can actually find the truth out about wholesaling. So you want big, fat assignment checks, and I know how to deliver it to you because I've been wholesaling for 21 years. And once I figured out this little secret, the entire game changed on how much money I made and how much effort I put in towards my negotiations. You see, the technique, if you haven't heard from it by now, it's called Go for No. And I'm here to tell you, you have been taught wrong your entire life on the difference between getting a no and yes, especially when it comes to real estate. In fact, I'm willing to bet that most of you have been conditioned to make your first offer to get a yes. Well, if you want to be a realtor, keep doing it because that's what realtors do. Wholesalers need to do the exact opposite. You need to go for no. Let me ask you this. If you've ever made an offer in wholesaling and you throw your number out there and the person sticks their hands out and says, I'll take it. Although you thought you won and you thought you got the right price, but suddenly this overwhelming feeling comes down in the pit of your stomach like, why did they take my offer so fast? That was weird. Man, I feel like I overpaid for it. Listen, if this has happened to you, you need to carefully listen to this video because I'm going to show you how to cure it so you never get this feeling again. You see, the simple truth is if you're willing to do the hard stuff up front and do the right negotiations and get your wholesale deals under the right price, the rest of this business is super simple. But let me let you on a little bit of secret. The gurus know about this and they use it against you. You see, they sell you a super easy way to get deals. Like as a new wholesaler, just reach out and contact real estate agents and brokers. The pictures are online, their phone number's there, the offer price is there. Everything's so simple, it's so easy. And guess what? I have a great course for you. It's $3,000, $5,000, $7,000, and it's going to show you exactly step-by-step how to get it done. Only to find out 3 or 6 months later, depending on your time frame, the easy wound up being hard. Meaning, if it was super easy up front, everything was super convenient for you, most likely you're not going to get a good deal, you're not going to get a good price, and you are going to struggle to sell your contracts to cash buyers. You know why? Because you weren't willing to do the hard stuff up front and make it easier at the end. So if gurus use this, I want you to understand the strategy that me and Zach teach you. We're going to teach you actually how to do the hard stuff up front and how to do it in a simplified manner to protect you, make you more confident, and get you the fattest assignment deals that you can get. You see, the truth of the fact is, you guys are chasing your motivated sellers too much. The harder you chase them, the more you're going to pay for your deal. In fact, let me give a little example. My dog, God, I love him. But as soon as I open up the back gate, he used to just go flying out there. And so we got a big backyard and he would take off and it would get close to dark and he's hard to see at night. And I would call him to come back in. I get frustrated and he'd be playing in the yard and I go out and chase him. And I found out the more I chased him, the farther I had to run and the more it was a game to him. And finally, one day I just decided, heck, I'm turning my back. I'm walking away. I let that patio door slam shut. And within 10 seconds, the dog came running back because they realized they need to chase me to get back inside the house. And I'm going to teach you that exact same strategy. It's called Go for No. And what I want to do is give you a visual representation of how not to chase your sellers, cut down your negotiation time. And if you've never negotiated one piece of real estate, I'll show you how a real wholesaler does it. I'm just going to draw this simple timeline, and this is your sellers. Let's call it their expectations. And honestly, this is you, the wholesaler. And what we'll do is this whole thing is called a negotiations. You know, the thing that you guys think you can't do, but I'm going to teach you how to simply do it. And this technique will prevent you from being scared of doing it. Number one is most wholesalers are trying to figure out their sellers' expectations. Stop it. You don't have ESP, you have no idea what's going on in their head, and stop trying to predict with certainty what it's going to be. Wholesaling is not designed for that. You're going to have to take a risk, and you're going to have to throw out numbers and negotiate. Stop going for the yes, because if you get a yes right off the bat, it means you paid too much for the property. Let me show you the go for no strategy. So most wholesalers start right about here, and they usually factor in their MAO. That's their maximum allowable offer. And what they're trying to do is figure out what's the highest I can offer the seller without them freaking out. Is the wrong strategy. See, when you do that, you get much closer to your seller's expectation, and maybe the seller will settle right about there, which means you're basically chasing them. And I find the higher your MAO, the more you have to chase. You know why? Because the seller goes, let's put a price on here. Say the seller's expectation is $210,000, and say your MAO is, I don't know, $189,000. The seller goes, wow, they're not too far from what my expectation is. Let me go ahead and pull them on in. And you're so eager to do the deal because you're brand new that you start chasing them like a dog. And in fact, I've watched the seller's price go up when you do this strategy. Now, remember, expectation is everything. So number one, stop trying to predict what your seller's price is in their head. You have no idea what's going on in there. I promise you, there's all sorts of numbers in there. Your job is to find the lowest acceptable number that you can get. And you're going to have to accept getting a no. A no means you are now negotiating. Until you get a no, you don't even start the negotiation process. Let me show you how this works. I'm teaching you a technique basically called your LAO, which is your lowest allowable offer. Now, when I make this offer and maybe it's $135K, the seller suddenly says, I'm thinking 210. He said 135. Am I missing something here? And you go, listen, I just kind of ran the numbers. That's pretty much what I can pay for the house. You instantly, listen to me, you instantly reset your seller's expectations. And here's what happens. Instead of you chasing your seller, if you have a motivated seller, you actually create the opposite effect, and they start trying to find some sort of middle ground to salvage it. Because the reality is none of us know what the seller's thinking. And stop trying to guess it. The reason you guys are trying to guess it is because you've been conditioned your entire life to get a yes. Accept the fact that if you get a no, you're actually doing wholesale negotiations. That's right. I said getting a no means you're going to get closer to the yes. If you get a yes right off the bat, it just means you simply overpaid for the property. Guys, we have to change our mentality in how we negotiate. A lot of you are inexperienced in negotiations, and it does take time and practice to get good at it. But if I just got to start out in wholesaling, the go for no method is perfect for you because you don't have to overthink it. You will never overpay for a property, and you protect yourself against your own bad negotiating on trying to guess what's going on in the seller's mind. So if you don't know what number to come up with, it's simple. If I have a $200,000 property, I'm usually going to offer between 55 and 60% of the value of it. It's just that simple. I do not overthink it. Honestly, I look at the comps. I used to say 10 minutes. I've cut it down to 2 minutes by using xleads.com. And I'm here to tell you, we are not realtors. Realtors are conditioned to get a yes. Wholesalers, we receive more no's than we'll ever see yes. So why would the negotiations be any different? So let me explain 4 things the go for no method will do for you as a wholesaler. Number one, it eliminates the fear of negotiating for any wholesaler, even if they're brand new or they're experienced, because honestly, I screwed up negotiating my first 2 years of wholesaling. I constantly tried to get a yes. I constantly try to get certainty in it and find out what the seller's price in their head is. And that was the terrible, terrible strategy because I left the money on the table. The second thing that the go for no strategy does for you is it drastically reduces the timeline for negotiations. Instead of a negotiation dragging on 2, sometimes 3, 4 weeks, by using the go for no method, you can see if your seller is motivated to work with you, and it will cut the time way down because you are not trying to hit the seller's target price. You're trying to stay within the boundaries of where you need to be And honestly, a lot of times just this change in expectation changes your seller's mindset to like, I better find a deal with this guy or gal or they're going to leave. Guys, you have to be willing to walk away from negotiations. The go for no protects you and massively cuts down the amount of time it takes to negotiate your typical wholesale deal. Number 3, the go for no method drastically cuts down on the stress of negotiations. You guys all know what I'm talking about. Listen, most negotiations are, it's like a boxing match, like a wrestling match. It's very, oh my God, what's going to happen? Listen, when you go ahead and hit them with your low expectations right off the bat, boom, you can change the expectation of what the seller thinks they're going to get with that deal. Now, if they're truly motivated, they need to get that property done, they are willing to chase you down to negotiate the deal. This cuts stress down on you. It actually cuts stress down on the seller, because we want people who want to get the deal done and want certainty. Remember, these are people that need to sell their house. The people who want to sell their house go see a realtor and they work with realtors to get top dollar. That's why wholesalers should not spend a ton of time on MLS. And if you're brand new, I would avoid it like the plague. And the last thing it helps out, the go for no in number 4, is it instantly increases the confidence of the new wholesaler. Heck, it could even be in a wholesaler that's just over offered on all its deals. Why? Because when you do get a yes, it's for real. You got the best price possible and you got the hard part done up front. The rest is easy. Great deals are easy to sell to cash buyers. When you overpay for deals by going for the first yes, you are in a sea of nightmare of no's after no's from all your cash buyers, and you only have 2 choices. You can either cancel the contract or you're going to have to renegotiate. And honestly, it winds up more stressful at the end. Remember that little trick I taught gurus do? They give you the easy up front so they can get the sale, and they leave you the hard at the end. And it's nothing more than a bait and switch tactic. Use the go for no method to massively change your negotiating result for your fattest assignment checks in wholesaling. Now, let me leave you a little caveat. The go for no method only works if you use me and Zach's technique of building massive rapport with your sellers. How do you do it? Number 1, go to freewholesaling.com. We teach you step-by-step on how to connect with sellers, how to be your true authentic self, and how to be a guide, not some sort of cheesy salesman. I don't give you sales training. I teach you how to get down to people's level, help them solve a problem, gain all the information by using your 2 ears and by using your mouth on providing a solution that creates a win for you, a win for your seller, and a win for your cash buyer. Guys, if you want to get the fattest assignment deals, then you need to look at the go for no method. If you want to learn more on how to do it, go over to freewholesaling.com. And if you want to receive big fat assignment checks, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button so you can receive the truth on how wholesaling really works. Guys, this is Rick, and I'll see you in the next video.